Minster Lovell Hall in Oxfordshire, England, once a grand manor house, now stands as a haunting reminder of its storied past. With its complex history and the chilling stories of its former inhabitants that might still linger, it's the perfect backdrop for our tale. It's the story of the Mistletoe Bride. Hello everyone, today we're diving into the haunting history of Mr. Lovell's ruins and the eerie tales that surround them. Are you going to join me as we're trying to uncover the dark mysteries of Mr. Lovell? Let's go. Many visitors reported strange occurrences and ghost sightings. But what truly happened here to give rise to such legends? Rumors of unexplained noises, disembodied voices and ghostly apparitions have been circulating for centuries. Is there any truth to this claim, or they're just small town myths and legends? As we delve deeper into the history of these ruins, we will try to separate facts from fiction and uncover the truth behind the hauntings. Is it truly haunted, or is it the imagination playing tricks on us? Well, we're about to find out. Our story begins with the Lovells. There has been a manor house at Minster Lovell since at least the 12th century. Artifacts found here confirm that this was once a Saxon settlement. But the ruins we've seen today were once a grand medieval manor house built in the 15th century by the wealthy Lovell family. We went toward the castle just a few weeks ago, and that was also owned by the Lovell family. And that is also Grace Court, which we'll be visiting later as we need to look for something. Mr. Lovell changed hands several times, and each new owner leaving a mark on the property. But it was during the 16th century that the estate experienced its most turbulent period. One of the most famous or infamous residents of Mr. Lovell was Francis Lovell, a loyal supporter of King Richard III during the Wars of the Roses. In a Lancastrian family, Francis Lovell was a Yorkist. He studied in Warwickshire with the Duke of Gloucester, who was to become Richard III after the Battle of Stokefield in 1487. The Yorkist forces took a severe beating, and here's where it is difficult to separate fact from fiction. The official story is that Francis fled to Scotland, making sure to disappear along the way. However, visitors in the small hours have reported a chilling sight. Looking down upon the broken bones of Mistletoe Lovell Hall from the adjacent graveyard, you must see a figure of a man appear out of thin air. The man looks emaciated, barely more than a skeleton. Here in the hall, you might feel an icy breath by your ear. Visitors have heard a painful, drawn-out groan creaking out of nowhere. Sometimes it is even accompanied by the rustling of paper or the scratching of a quill. Who could it be? So, according to local legend, Francis Lovell did not go to Scotland at all. In the aftermath of the battle, the roads were unsafe, and Henry Tudor would hunt down everyone that was siding with Richard III. So he decided not to run, but to hide, knowing that this would be the first place where Henry's men would search. He kept his return a secret, and he found refuge in a secret room in a basement, and trusted only one faithful servant to bring him food and drinks. Well, it worked. Maybe too well. Time passed and Lovell escaped capture. The only problem was that the servant took his master's secret and the only key to the grave with him. If this is true, Lovell faced a slow and miserable death, wasting away, prisoner of his own home. But bear with me, this gets even more interesting. Following the defeat of the House of York in the Battle of Bosworth in 1485, the hall passed into the hands of the Crown and eventually in 1602 into the possession of a successful lawyer, Sir Edward Coke. It is said that when the building was renovated in 1718, a vault was found containing the skeleton of a man sitting at a table and his dog next to him. I didn't see any holes in the ground apart from grated things that look like wells. Now 2 are round and 1 is rectangular, which I found a little curious. Ghostly wailings are said to be heard around the now ruined grounds of the hall. The man and the dog appear here, beside the crumbling southwest tower, and glide smoothly across the meadow along the bank of the passing river. Those who come to Mistletoe Lovell alone hear shuffling of feet behind them. Well, I'm here alone and at the moment I'm not hearing any shuffling. The day is still young. When the man reaches the outline of the stables, it seems to disappear. What do you think? Is this the ghost of Francis Lovell? The dark history does not end here. Now, the figure of a woman has been seen floating around the building. According to local legend, Mr. Lovell is one of the possible locations for the story of the Mistletoe Bride. And the story goes like this. The legend of the Mistletoe Bough is a horror story which has been associated with a few mansions in England. The tale first appeared in print in the form of a poem published in 1822. Rogers states, "The story is, I believe, founded on fact, though the time and place are uncertain. Many old houses lay claim to it." Now, in 1840 circa, a song, The Mistletoe Bough, was written by Thomas Ains Bailey, mentioning Constance Seymour's marriage to Harry Lovell. The story begins with Lady Constance, who is to wed the heir of the Lovell family. So it is the morning of the wedding. She decides to play hide and seek inside the manor. The bride decides to hide in a chest in a remote attic, but the lid falls on her, locking her in. Her friends and family are unable to find the girl and eventually give up the search. Years later, when the attic got cleared out, they found the chest, and when they opened it, they found the body of a skeleton of a young woman in a wedding dress. I do feel the chills. I mean, it is cold, but eerie. Oh, what was that? Something like a gate. There's only one gate, and it's that one. This is where things are getting even more interesting. There are a couple of locations here in the south that claim to have the Mistletoe Bough chest or the Mistletoe Bride's chest. However, there is one in particular that has piqued my interest, and that is Grace Court. The reason why I tend to believe that Grace Court is the actual location for it, and that they actually have the chest, is because Grace Court was once owned by the Lovell family. So Let's go and have a look. This place all of a sudden is deserted. Interesting, very interesting. At that time of the evenings where strange stuff happens around here, everybody's gone, it's just me and you. Grace Court is not owned by the National Trust, but it was once owned by the Lovell family. In 1387, Grace Court passed to the Lovell family by marriage, as Alice Lovell inherited the estate after the Grey line was extinct. This building is amazing. Grace Court has ghosts of its own, but this is not what we're here for. Oh, that is nothing like a closed sign. The chest of drawers is here at Grace Court, and I found it.
Yeah, that makes sense to do the round.
Oh my god! Oh my word. Well, this is the chest of the Mistletoe Bride. I'm gonna take some shit. Be interesting to know if it actually was a real story.
I know, I don't know. There's legend. I think the curator once mentioned that there's kind of stories at most properties that have chests. It's
yeah.
like, well, we've got the chest. You know,
Yeah,
like,
but this one is the most likely.
It's the most likely.
This is really heavy.
Yeah.
This is beautiful.
Okay.
This is fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. Can you imagine finding a body with the wedding dressing here? Oh, and it is actually carved.
Yeah.
It's got proper carvings in. Oh, this is absolutely gorgeous. Oh my word. Thank you so much. And from Grace Court I say goodbye. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, please give us a thumb up, and I shall see you in the next one. Thank you for watching. Bye.